Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. Thanks for joining us. 32 states right now offer Donate Life specialty license plate. We can help add Tennessee to that number. Your license plate, well, it can be more than just a plate. It can be a symbol of hope, of healing, and second chances.
My life was different back then. I had to, basically, it was like being born again, get my transplants. I lost everything and rebuild. And that's what the transplants did for me. I was able to rebuild and secure my future.
Todd Hensel has a second chance story. He is a 7-organ transplant recipient, now a cattle rancher on a farm in Hickman County. His story is also a love story. Todd's second chance gave him the opportunity to reconnect with his first love, his high school sweetheart, Carrie.
I think we all have destinies, and sometimes we don't know what they are. I think we have a future that unfolds in front of us. Every choice we make can change our destiny, and it was a simple phone call that brought her back into my life.
He never left my heart. You never forget your first love. He was always there. And that first time seeing him after 40 years, I just knew that this was meant to be.
Coming up, we're going to hear from Todd and Carrie, both Donate Life ambassadors. We'll also hear from a third ambassador, Lisa Bolt. Her 17-year-old sister was an organ donor. But first, let's get a check of our headlines. The Dickson County School Board has made the decision to adopt a new policy concerning student electronic devices and their use on school campuses. Dickson County Schools' new policy states students may possess wireless communication devices and personal electronic devices while on school property. The device must be in the off mode and must be kept in a backpack, pocket, purse, or similar personal carry-all and may not be used during school hours without permission. The Crossroads Volunteer Fire Department has recently found a new way to bridge a communication gap following a recent call involving a hearing-impaired victim. Local firefighters organized an American Sign Language class. The lesson included basic emergency keywords that would be most beneficial in an urgent situation. This bronze bust of former slave Anna McKissick Bunch is the result of a joint project between the City of Spring Hill and the Battle of Franklin Trust. The bronze bust was unveiled at the historic Ripa Villa Plantation with the hope of publicizing the importance of ordinary people, especially those who were enslaved, to the history and racial relations of the area. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
833.
Busy bee.
Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
Welcome back. Tennessee Donor Services served 488 organ donor heroes in 2024. Those organ donations saved 1,371 lives. Have you thought about being an organ donor or tissue donor? Well, today, hear the stories of a man whose life was saved with 7 organ transplants, and from a woman whose sister saved many lives.
My passion behind it is because I lost a little sister in 1993, and her name was Andrea. And that was in the state of Louisiana, but I've been here for 34 years, so I wanted to be involved with organ donation and also teaching people about it, and especially high school students, because I feel like that's where we can, educate them a little bit before they get their license or right when they get it.
Todd and I moved down here to Tennessee about 7.5 years ago, and we became ambassadors here before COVID, so about 6 years ago, pretty close to the time we moved down here. Todd is my partner. He's a 7-organ transplant recipient. and we are both passionate about spreading the word of the importance of organ donation, the lives it can impact, and in all ways.
I was at my physician's house or office, and at 48 years old, I was rather husky. Being a master plumber, I'd kind of developed muscles, and he said, you need to lean out and get in shape. So I started doing a spinning class, cutting the weight, and before the classes I would drink about a third of an energy drink. And sweating as much as I did, one night after a class I threw a blood clot. And within 12 hours I lost all my organs. And I was in Pontiac, Michigan, who then transferred me to Detroit, Michigan, to a bigger hospital, and they just put me in hospice. All of my organs had died. A doctor from Indiana was visiting, told my son if they could get me to Indiana University, he had a chance of saving my life. And it was 75 days later that chance came up, and he did save my life. Yeah.
Was there any indication before that your organs were having any issues?
Nope, I was very healthy. My heart was that of like an 18-year-old. No cholesterol, nothing in it. Because the insurance was trying to debunk the operation, so they checked my heart twice, and they're like, no, he's very, very healthy.
This was she passed in 1993. So I actually have her driver's license, and back then I think it was a separate card. So we don't know for sure, but I remember, there's a lot I don't remember that day, but I do remember being called into the room, and it was LOPA in Louisiana, and they explained to us that obviously her brain activity had ceased, and that was, they wanted to know what our thoughts were, and we were like, why not? So my mom, brother, myself, and my dad made that decision for her. So I can't say, I know she would have wanted it because she was a giving person. So it felt very natural to say yes for her.
Did you guys learn about her recipients?
Well, that's a funny story. Just 3.5 years ago, I had never known anything about it. Back in the 90s, they didn't really, it's a typed letter. It's a lot different than these. No Facebook, anything like that. So a friend of mine who had lost a son who was an organ donor at 2.5, she asked me what I knew about Andrea's story. And when I didn't have an answer, I was like, why don't I know? And it was really hard because at this point I've lost my parents. It's just a lot of grief. Grief can be really hard on a person. So I called LOPA the next day and I said, I know this is random, but it's been 28 years. Can you help me? And about 2 days later, they called back and had found some documents saying that she had helped 6 people with organs and up to 50 with her tissue and bones. And I remember crying for like an hour and a half. We talked on the phone, and she was a mother that had lost a son too, so she was very comforting. And that's what led to a lot of healing for me. And, I'm out here every day for her because I realized I hadn't said her name in a long time. Mm-hmm. And after that point, I say it every day. So it's been a blessing to take such tragedy and turn it into something beautiful.
Do you happen to know your donors, where your organs came from?
I do not know him or his family, and they came from the Indianapolis area. Yeah.
What would you, when you think of the gift that you've been given through those organs, what would you say to their family, to that family?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I got to see my children graduate high school. Then I got to see them graduate college, and now I'm going to see my daughter get married and, walk her down the aisle. And then I've been to continue on with my dreams. I've always, being a plumber was one thing, didn't really like the job, I was just good at it, but now I'm a rancher.
He's a master at mind over matter, and just like if you see it, know it, envision it, it's going to be. And he was in a wheelchair, told he wouldn't walk again, and now he's a cattle rancher. So miracles are real. So I have the utmost faith in him and God.
What do you think your sister would say?
She would love this attention. I'm just being honest. She would love this. And I actually wrote a book about her through my grief, and that was my healing of writing. So since I didn't know the recipients, I was able to make up their stories. I had their first name in Oregon, so I wrote how their life could have been to show a reader how much one person can help others. I'm doing it for Andrea, for Todd, for all of us. Like, we're out here because that's like, it's going to share so many people, because I look at everyone's license plate if I'm behind them, like, what does that mean? What's that for? So it's a conversation. I just can't tell you. I can't let it go. So,
Lisa, Carrie, Todd, thank you so much for sitting down with me and sharing your stories. It was such a pleasure meeting each of you.